Tell me, if I stabbed the Mad King in the belly instead of the back, would you admire me more?
Hold on to that question, because in a few minutes, the most honorable man in Westeros is going to hear it, and he won't be able to answer it. Two men are standing in an empty throne room. One of them is the most honorable man in the Seven Kingdoms. The other is the most hated knight in the realm. And by the end of this conversation, you might not be sure which is which. I'm not going to tell you who's right. I want you to watch this like a trial. Both men get to make their case. You're the judge. And I think by the end, you'll find your verdict has quietly changed without you noticing when it happened. So let's walk into the room, and let's start where most people start. On Ned's side.
Thank the gods you're here, Stark. About time we had some stern northern leadership.
He's lounging on the steps under the Iron Throne when Ned walks in. Then he rises, relaxed, smirking, completely at ease in a room he has no right to be comfortable in. And right away, you understand Ned's problem with this man. Stern northern leadership is a sneer. He's mocking the Stark brand before Ned has even said a word. This is the guy everyone warned you about. Arrogant, glib, the golden Lannister who thinks the rules are for other people. So Act 1 belongs to Ned. And honestly, he's earned it.
Glad to see you're protecting the throne.
Dry contempt. And it's not subtle. Watch Sean Bean's face here. It barely moves. That's how he plays Ned. All restraint. The face does the work other shows hand to dialogue. Protecting the throne is a jab. Because the last time Jaime was alone with a king in this room, he killed him. Stabbed King Aerys, the Mad King, in the back. Jaime had sworn an oath to protect that king. He broke the most sacred vow a knight can take. And let me be fair to Ned here, because this matters. Put yourself in his boots 17 years ago. He storms into this room at the end of a war. The king is dead on the floor. And there's Jaime, sitting on the Iron Throne, the blood still fresh. He never explains himself. He never says a word about why. So I'll ask you straight. If you were Ned Stark, walking into that, what conclusion are you supposed to reach? A man who murders the king he swore to guard, and then helps himself to the throne? That's not honor. That's ambition wearing a white cloak. Ned's judgment isn't cruelty. Based on what he saw, it's the only reasonable read there is. Hold on to that. We're gonna test it.
Steady, old thing. How many king's asses have polished it, I wonder? And what's the line? The king shits and the hand wipes.
Jaime goes crude, on purpose. He takes the most sacred object in the realm and turns it into a chair for royal backsides. And he mocks the job of the hand, the exact job Ned just took. You came all this way, he's saying, to wipe a king. Coster Waldau plays it with this glib little smirk. The smile of a man who decided the only armor that works is not caring. Keep an eye on that smirk, because it doesn't survive this scene.
Very handsome armor. Not a scratch on it.
Here's where the real fight starts, buried under small talk. On the surface, a compliment. Underneath, Ned is calling him all show. A knight in shiny armor who's never truly been tested. All polish, no wounds. A coward who just looks the part.
I know. People have been swinging at me for years, but they always seem to miss.
Jaime flips the insult into a threat. The clean armor isn't cowardice. It's that he's better than everyone who's tried to kill him. And keep that line, they always seem to miss. Because a few episodes from now, these two cross swords in the street, and Ned finds out the hard way that Jaime wasn't bragging.
Choosing your opponents wisely, then.
Ned won't let go. He twists it into the same accusation. You only fight battles you're sure to win. Your reputation, not substance.
I have a knack for it.
A shrug, a non-answer, the smirk holds. And so far, the trial is going exactly one way. Every exchange confirms what Ned already believes. Arrogant, untested, hollow. But watch what happens next, because this is where the evidence starts to turn.
Must be strange for you, coming into this room. I'm standing right here when it happened.
Now stop, and look at where he's standing. Because here's something I missed the first 10 times I watched this scene. Jaime isn't just in the throne room. He has placed himself on the exact spot where it happened. Where he killed Aerys. Where Ned found him on the throne 17 years ago. He didn't wander in and sit down anywhere. Out of an entire hall, he chose to stand on the one patch of floor that ruined his name.
Kingslayer!
Kingslayer.
Kingslayer!
I give you the Kingslayer.
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 Think about what that means. Most men would avoid the place that made them a monster in everyone's eyes. Jaime returns to it. He plants himself on it. He lives on it. Is that arrogance? Or is it a man who can't stop returning to the worst moment of his life, picking at a wound that never closed? I genuinely go back and forth, but the staging is doing something the dialogue never says out loud. This room owns him, and he knows it. And listen to how he opens.
Must be strange for you.
Not for me. He leads with Ned. You can read this as taunting, rubbing Ned's face in it. Personally, I've always wondered if it's something more vulnerable. Because this room isn't only where Jaime became the Kingslayer. It's where Ned lost half his family. 2 haunted men, same haunted floor.
It was very brave, your brother. And your father, too. They didn't deserve to die like that. Nobody deserves to die like that.
The show gives you one sentence. The books give you the full nightmare. And you need it because it's the thing under every word here. Ned's father was Rickard Stark, his brother Brandon. They came to King's Landing demanding justice. The Mad King gave them his version of a trial. He decided Rickard would be judged by fire, so they hung Lord Rickard from the rafters in his armor and lit a blaze beneath him, cooking a man alive inside his own steel, and Brandon. They tied him up in that same room with a cord around his neck and set a long sword just out of reach. All he had to do to save his burning father was grab it. But every time he strained toward the blade, the cord tightened on his own throat. So Brandon strangled himself trying to reach the sword that would free his father, while Eris watched and laughed. That's what they didn't deserve to die like that actually means. Jaime watched that. He was a teenager, sworn to protect the man doing it.
But you just stood there and watched.
And there's the wall. Jaime opened a door to shared grief. Ned shuts it. This is the core of who Ned Stark is. To him, watching is the same as doing. If you were there and you didn't act, you're guilty. It's a clean, hard line. And for most of your life, it probably sounds right. So let me put Ned's question to you, because the whole scene turns on it. Could you keep a secret for 17 years that would clear your name, if telling it meant admitting you stood and watched a man burn? Hold that. Jaime's about to take Ned's clean little rule and turn it into a weapon.
500 men just stood there and watched. All the great knights of the 7 kingdoms. You think anyone said a word, lifted a finger? No, Lord Stark. 500 men, and this room was silent as a crypt. Except for the screams, of course. And the Mad King laughing.
And there it is. The first crack in Ned's worldview. Ned said watching equals guilt. Jaime doesn't deny it, he expands it. Fine, then judge all of them. 500 knights. Every honorable man in the realm. The whole shining order of chivalry stood in this room and let it happen. If standing by makes you guilty, then honor itself was guilty that day. Silent as a crypt, except for the screams. That's the line. Honor didn't make a sound, only the dying did. And suddenly Ned's clean rule has a problem, because by that rule, the entire institution Ned represents is just as damned as the man he's judging.
And later, when I watched the Mad King die, I remembered him laughing as your father burned. It felt like justice.
Now Jaime reframes the murder. Not treachery, justice. For Ned's own father. The man you're standing here judging me about, he's saying, I'm the one who made his killer pay. And here's the detail that should be quietly nagging at you. Notice what Jaime still hasn't said. He's defending the killing as revenge. He has not said the one thing that would actually win this argument. We'll come back to that, because it's the key to the whole man. But before we let Jaime win you over completely, let's be honest about him. Because he's not innocent here either. Jaime could have told the truth. Not just to Ned, in this room, to anyone, at any point in 17 years. A word to the right person and the story changes. Instead, he chose the smirk. He chose arrogance. He let people assume the worst, and then sneered at them for assuming it. There's a kind of pride in that silence that's genuinely not noble. He'd rather be hated and feel superior than be understood and feel vulnerable. So when Ned reads him as arrogant, Ned isn't wrong. The arrogance is real. The tragedy is that it's armor over something else. And that brings us to what Jaime knows that Ned doesn't. Here's the thing Ned doesn't know. The thing almost nobody in Westeros knows. Jaime wasn't stopping a king that day. He was stopping a massacre. Eris had spent years hiding caches of wildfire, alchemist's fire, the stuff that burns through stone and water and flesh, underneath King's Landing, under the streets, under the homes, under 500,000 sleeping people. And when the war was lost, the Mad King gave his final order. Burn them all. He wanted to take the entire city into the fire with him. Jaime was the only man standing close enough to stop it. So he made a choice. Break his sacred oath and become the most hated knight in history, or keep it and let a city of innocents burn alive. He broke the oath. He killed the king. He saved them all. And then he told no one. He let them call him Kingslayer for 17 years. So now the trial flips completely. Because Ned has been judging a man for the single most heroic thing anyone in this story ever did. And the very act Ned despises, the broken oath, the blade in the back, is the reason Ned and everyone he loves in this city is still breathing.
Is that what you tell yourself at night? You're a servant of justice. That you were avenging my father when you shoved your sword in Aerys Targaryen's back.
Listen to the word Ned leans on. Back. You shoved your sword in his back. Because to Ned, that's the whole crime. Not that Jaime killed Aerys. That he did it dishonorably. From behind. A knight faces his enemy. The back is the proof. It's how Ned tells a hero from a murderer. Bean plays this tight, but the heat is rising under the restraint now. Because Jaime is circling something Ned cannot stand to look at.
Tell me, if I stabbed the Mad King in the belly instead of the back, would you admire me more?
Stop. Rewind that. Play it again. Because this is the line the entire scene is built around. This is the moment the flaw gets exposed. And I want you to actually do something here. I want you to answer Jaime's question yourself. Seriously. Pause if you need to. If you were Ned, what would you say? Take it apart. The king is dead either way. The city is saved either way. 500,000 people live either way. The only thing that changes between the belly and the back is the direction the blade went in. How it looked. So walk the answers with me. Say you answer, yes, the belly would have been more honorable. Then you've just admitted your honor isn't about saving lives at all. It's about choreography. The same corpse, the same rescued city, but one angle earns your respect and the other earns your contempt. That's not a moral code. That's stage direction. Or say you answer, no, it makes no difference. Then you've just conceded that the way Jaime killed Aerys never mattered, and you've spent 17 years condemning a man for a detail you just admitted is meaningless. There's no answer that survives the question. That's the trap. That's the flaw. Ned's honor cannot tell the difference between a good act and a good-looking one. And here's the question I think the whole scene is really asking you. Does the reason matter more than the method? Because Ned built his entire life on the method is everything, and Jaime just put a crack in that he'll never repair. Watch the scene. Ned doesn't answer it. He can't.
You served him well. When serving was safe.
So look what Ned does instead. He can't touch the question, so he changes the subject. He retreats to a new attack. You were loyal to Aerys until loyalty got dangerous, then you killed him. A man of convenience, not principle. And here's the bitter irony that makes this whole thing a tragedy. Ned has it exactly backwards. Serving wasn't safe. Killing Aerys was the most dangerous thing Jaime could have done. He was 17. A Kingsguard breaking the holiest oath in the realm, gambling his name, his honor, and his life on doing the right thing in a single moment with no one to back him up. The bravest act of Jaime's life, and Ned reads it as the most cowardly. He has the truth perfectly inverted. So let's deliver the verdict. But it's not the one the trial set up. Because the real point of this scene was never who's right. Look at these two men. Jaime broke an oath and let the world believe a lie about his honor, to protect innocent people. And Ned, do you know what Ned is about to spend this whole season doing? Protecting a secret child. Letting the world believe a lie about his honor, a bastard son that isn't his, rather than break a promise. Sacrificing his good name for something bigger than his good name. It would be easy to land here and call them the same man. They're not. Jaime's secret saved 500,000 strangers. Ned's protects one child. Jaime keeps quiet out of something close to contempt. Ned keeps quiet to honor a promise. Don't flatten them into a tidy pair. That's the appearances game all over again. And this scene just spent 10 minutes teaching you not to play it. What they share isn't identity. It's a question. The same question, handed to both of them, and now to you.